I'm just going to make this quick. So by now, you should have heard this news. Solomon Islands, Red Dragon, China. And some news you wouldn't have heard was the intel from God. Remember him? January the 6th, 2020. In a dream, he showed me communist invasion, New Zealand. Enough said. You can find it. I have faith and believe it. It is not something I asked to hear about. And it was quite a gruesome, vivid dream. Seeing all the body parts go into pits, the roadblocks. And I woke up having the two visions. So I'm not going to go over it all again. I really cannot be F-U-C-K-E-D. The Lord has already shown me that in 2018 when I started my channel, that no one would watch it. So moving right along into 2021, the Muppets. I just finished on my messenger talking about just this. You might not realise it, but that is what I'm talking about, going full circle, talking about what the Lord did at Christmas time, 2020. Then I had the dream, January 6th. So the Lord wrapped this up, and I will show you that. But let's just have a listen. The headline caught my eye. That's why I'm playing it. I already knew this because our Prime Minister has gone to Japan to share Five Eye intel. Yeah. The big bubble. We have a big bubble, big spy bubble. So they're obviously, nobody understands it. But what's happening is they're getting nervous, and now they're trying to build an ally. Japan is not even in the Five Eyes, and I believe what I heard was that New Zealand had pulled out of Five Eyes. So I don't know what the heck is happening, whether it's a Mandela thing or what. But the only thing I've seen on the news is that Japan is not in it. Not that New Zealand's not. I thought our Prime Minister abandoned Australia and America. Oh, but now they need Australia and America because the communists are going to take New Zealand down the bottom of the South Island, Dunedin, across the ditch from Australia, like a beachhead. Easy as pie. Have a listen.
Confrontation in the Pacific. The Prime Minister of Australia clarified recently that the Red Dragon will not be allowed to build a military base in this island. Hold on. Time out. So the sleeping giant could go to any nation, even though they're not invited, but they still go in and stuff like that. They build their stuff in military base. They could, again, they could get away with all that. But when it comes to the Red Dragon, they can't do that. I'm telling you guys, I mean, lawlessness. I mean, the sleeping giant has become really brutal. I mean, it just, you have all these lands protecting the sleeping giant. So they're basically warning the red dragon, hey, you can't build again military base in this area. You can't do it, which is once again Solomon's Islands. So this been making headlines now, guys, because this is where the red dragon want to put their stuff. But the sleeping giant in Australia are saying absolutely not. It's not going to happen. And there will be a huge respawn if you build a military base in that location. All right, guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, families, or loved ones. I appreciate the love and support. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, once again, the PayPal link and the Patreon link is in the description box. Also, guys, $1 a month Patreon, we get you access to our live stream every Saturday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about in this form.
Stop it. This is what caught my eye. No. Yeah. The title. Fire. Before the fire, right? So, here's something entertaining if you're still watching. I've gone full circle. Okay, so these are my dogs. See the wee kitty in the middle, the red one? Well, her name's Tribute. But my testimony is that before the Christmas day of the communist invasion dream, which was on the 6th of January, at the end of November, the Lord gave me a word, which I documented and went to the details for all the photos, which proved, because I'd written them in my book, and I put them in a folder, that I heard this before it happened, and I knew it would happen. So I put it up. The Lord said for me, because there was a breeder who wanted to buy a male from Glory's litter. This actual breeder was the one that bred Glory. So Yellow's the father. There he goes there. At the top. He's my favourite, but he's not. You shouldn't have favourites, but he is my favourite. And he was just a year old. And Glory was, well, he's a bit of a cougar because she was over 2. It was her second litter. Her first litter, she had Fire, the wee black and white one. Well, Fire was a year old nearly at that stage. So this was her second litter. Now she was pregnant and her breeder wanted a male from the litter. Without going into too much detail, because I've done it already and documented it on my YouTube channel, the Lord told me there would be no boys. So I knew that I would need to tell this breeder on the day when she's watching the pups being born, sorry, there was no boys, so you don't get a pup. And then the Lord said that he wanted me to give her Yellow, that one. He told me that a month before they were even born, and I wept. And then I said, okay, Lord, I knew a month before that I was going to have to give away Yellow to a woman who is not nice, let's just say. It's like if someone asks for your coat, give it to them. And I obeyed the Lord. She never asked for Yellow, but she asked for a male stud. So I was going to give her my male stud, because the Lord said. And then he also said to me that there's only girls. Keep one and call it Tribute. So you see that little redhead one there? Her name's Tribute, but she's Tribute too, like Mark 2. Like a Mark 2 Zephyr. Mark 1 and a Mark 2. Well, here's a picture of Tribute 1. That is a little girl who was born, who is a twin, absolute twin to Glory. So all 3 puppies were girls. I didn't know how many pups there were going to be. There was 3. But the Lord said they were all going to be girls, which they were. The first puppy I called No Bro, before I even knew, because I knew she'd have no brothers. It's called faith. It's called believing the Lord. And then Tribute was born. And I knew which one was her because she had 4 white paws shod with the gospel of peace. Now, this one here, yellow, he represents the harvest. Tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. It's an oak tree. So because I had to give Glory away, you're following, because Glory started fighting with fire when fire started having pups last year, I thought I wouldn't have another litter, and the lady wanted one like Glory. So, because she wanted something of mine, the Lord told me to I sold her Tribute. So I was told to keep Tribute, and then later on that year I sold her, and that's Tribute. And I didn't want to do it, but I obeyed the Lord. Since then, the agreement was that she wouldn't change her name. Well, since then, they changed her name to Molly. Yet she had agreed not to change her name. Molly. It's short for Mary. It's Queen of the Sea. The beast that comes out of the sea. Lovely, eh? So I was robbed. But I did as the Lord said. So, Tribute, born Christmas Day as promised, now called Molly. A year and 5 months since everything was wrapped up. And that's what the Lord said after he told me there would only be girls born. He said, they, just because we're looking forward to Christmas at this stage. A year and a half ago, but it was November that he was talking. He said they plan their surprises, you know, like you get for Christmas, when I've got everything wrapped up. And I'm telling you now that we have the harvest in the bag. Those who have paid their tribute to the Most High and haven't sown to the world. It only comes up once in the Bible, the tribute coin. So, pray about that. I know what it means. So we can go by her age. So we're nearly 5 months into this year. So she's a year and 5 months. Born Christmas Day, right? And that's the marker, because everything was wrapped up a year and 5 months ago. Following? And then I thought about it's in the bag and how the Lord has already shown me it's in the bag. So I Googled a conversation I had with Mark. You can look up your conversations. And I found this quickly. It's in the bag. That's what Satan thinks. Is he right? Lay up treasure in heaven, people. Now that is 2 years old. So that was before the Lord told me about the tribute. So listen to the title. See, I don't title anything to get clicks. Never. Well, a couple of times I have because they've been really important. But mostly I just use whatever the word of the Lord was. And that is how come I can always find my videos. Because it's on my heart now. Because it's the word of the Lord. So it's in the bag. And that's what Satan thinks. Is he right? Lay up treasure in heaven, people. That's your tribute. You got it? Well, I can play that. But here, I don't know if you can see it, because I can hardly see it. There, see? They used to put the dates. But now they just roughly say. So that's 2 years ago. That would have even been more than 2 years ago. You know how they round it off? So she's only 1.5 years. So I've already documented it. And now I know it's in the bag. Came before tribute. You following? See, this is how I do it. I just Google conversation. It's in the bag. Oh, it was in the Harvest barn door chat room. And then I'll find it where I brought it up here. March 2021 is when I brought it up. And that would have been because it was, I'd come full circle. No, it was 19th of September 2021. Because I'd already posted something about it's in the bag. So this is my 3rd time round. I'm getting bored with this. I'm not bored with the Lord, but I'm bored with you guys. Because he keeps telling you the same thing. And nobody's listening. Jesus said they don't recognize me. And it really made me, well, just think about it. He said, they don't recognize me. Do you recognize me? Nope. That's because you don't recognize me. Now, the oak tree. What is the oak tree? Well, it's come full circle, and you will see that Jonathan Clegg has mentioned it, and I never realised, because it was in my vision of the swallows. They were flying in and out of the oak tree, and the Lord called me the oak tree, just like he called me Joseph. Now, does that mean I'm an individual, or am I a community group? Because he said to me that many things that are in the Bible that are singular are actually plural. My feeling, and I could be wrong or I could be right, is that I'm not the tree of life, but as he is, his life is in us. It's the group. But being a swallow is like, it's a ministry. There's so much to say about the swallows, and I can't say other than they fly in and out of the tree. So let's, without playing too much, just a little bit of this.
Very much. Joan Slack from Mornington. Now it's Olwen Williams from Logan Park. Hello, Olwen. How are you?
Right. Oh. Okay, so as soon as he said Logan Park, I went, oh, that's where I went to high school. Do you understand that? This is the clip he wanted me to watch. It's in an archive. Very old. Logan Park is where I went to high school.
Oh, great, great, great. Now, Olwen, let's get on to the question. Do you know what a mango is?
It's a type of fruit.
Yes, a type of fruit, that's right. What's another name for dyspepsia?
Indigestion?
What are you? A nurse, are you?
No, I'm a computer programmer.
Now, how would a computer programmer know anything about indigestion except, of course, that all your bosses suffer from it, don't they? How do you program a computer as a matter of scientific interest?
Oh, it more or less consists of writing a set of instructions for the computer to do something.
You're going to make a wonderful wife for somebody, aren't you? Hmm?
It's really
You think you'll be
sexist.
sane? Now, Olwen, your third question is, what name is given to the seed or the fruit of an oak?
Acorn.
An acorn.
So there you go. An acorn. So it's an oak. And it was a fruit. I'll leave you a bit of suspense. I'll link it. But anyway, like you see, I showed that afterwards. There's a documentation. Now this is before I went to the video that I've just showed you at the beginning. So I just typed this. It's like my little... I'm writing it straight into my messenger instead of in my red book. Oak tree. What I saw. What the Bible calls God. Yes, Click found that. Like an oak tree. I seen it as the tree of life. The swallows fly in and out of. See that, didn't I? Now I will tell you that Selwyn Too Good is a sexist piece of work. And I'm going to ruin the end for you now. Because what happens in that game show is it's the money or the bag once you get 3 questions right. Well, she wanted to go for the bag. And it was bag number 28, which I looked up back. I may not have looked up. Or I may have, I don't know. Bag number 28. We should look up 28. Strong's. She wanted that bag. And she didn't take the money. It's $150. Which is like robbery again, isn't it? Robbery, $1,500. That is something that's an addition. Because every time I go full circle, the Lord adds a precept. The Word of God did not finish with the Bible. It's alive and living in you. And your testimony. How do we overcome in Revelations? Who are the ones that know the song? Nobody else knows the song. The ones who overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. So I've said over and over again, testify, testify, testify. Oh, but you can't expose yourself. We must hide. Yeah, hide like them. Because you are like them. Why are we hiding? Selwyn didn't even raise the money. Usually he raises the money so that people take the money and not the bag. But he didn't even raise the money because he was a bit thrown by the fact that she was a career girl. Anyway, what was in the bag? It was a potato peeler. There's often a booby prize. Well, she just said, oh, great. We needed a potato peeler in our flat. Because she didn't need the other things that were in the bag. Like the TV or the washing machine and all the material goods that we spend our money on, pay our tribute to, instead of to God. See how it's fitting? So she's definitely Glory's twin. That's tribute 1. Well, I've got tribute 2, who's not Glory's twin. But the Lord's planned it that way. So now I see why he gave me that game show. Now I know why the Lord gave me the game show. It's in the bag. Even the phrase means what he has done. even the phrase, it's in the bag, means what he has done. What he did on Christmas Day, what he told me he was going to do was this. He was wrapping things up, and they were just planning their surprises. Now, we know everything's kicked off since 2019-2020 Christmas. It was 2019, turning 2020, that the Lord said all this. Then I got the communist invasion dream. So now we're full circle, and now we have the red dragon in the Pacific. Did anyone see that 2.5 years ago? Oh, sorry, 1.5 years ago? No one saw it. Because they're not getting the intel from God. They're truthers and detectives. They're herded, and they shine up fluorescent. And there ain't no angel coming to help you and tell you where to hide. So that's why, catch up, for goodness sake. Catch up. And start putting the Lord God first and stop paying lip service. He's not an idiot. So we'll look up the phrase. It means assured success, virtually accomplished or won. In the bag. In the bag. Assured success, virtually accomplished or won. For example, a coach thought the trophy was in the bag. Or our new contract is in the bag. Or the harvest is in the bag. Because you gave your tribute to the Lord. Now, don't get me wrong. I've fallen down every hole. I had everything new in my house. I had new stainless steel washing machine and dryer so that they looked good. We already had a washing machine and dryer, but we needed it to look good. I had a new microwave so it would fit. Also, we could plan the kitchen bench around it. That was stainless steel and not white. So I got things we already had for a new house. And we were up to our eyeballs in debt. So I am not saying that I don't understand it. What I'm saying is, why is it that the Lord woke me up and said the time is now? And to go up the mountain in 2018. Because I'm chosen. I'm called and chosen. And it all goes back to when I first got saved nearly 30 years ago. I was 50 when I left. I'm 55 this year now. So it's nearly 30 years ago. It was 25 years ago. And it was in the first year of my salvation. And I saw the Lord of the harvest. And my ear was on the ground in the harvest field. And he nearly ran over me on a horse. I turned my head and there he was on a white horse. Since then, in the last year, the Lord's brought me full circle. Because he rebuked me back then and said, what will it take for you to follow me? Well, it's taken everything. And the reason why you guys aren't following him is because you haven't paid the price yet. But the Lord has a plan. No one will get there without paying the price. So you might as well get it over and done with. Because there is a price. The Lord paid the price. And we think we can get away without paying the price. Well, we need to follow him. Which means we die and go to the cross as well. Or we are not resurrected in a glorious body. Now, I want to be, and I expect it now. Because I have an engagement ring. Because I have a wedding ring. I have a crown, and I also have a chair that I sit on, like a royal chair, a chariot. I've seen all these things. And the Lord's going to come and get me. He said, I'm going to get you. What did he say? I'm going to come and get you. You just said that, you know. I heard him, not audibly. I've only heard his voice audibly once. So what I'm saying is there is a way to hear him in the spirit. Don't feel sad or sorry for me when I say I wept or when I laughed with joy, because it's in my spirit. It's not my flesh. They're two different things. I know what it's like to live in the spirit, and I don't live in the spirit always, because I have a comparison. See, when I weep in the flesh, it's because I'm a victim and I feel sorry for myself. I have hurt feelings. But when I weep in the spirit, then it counts in heaven and it's treasure. Do you understand? Not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord. This is just a copy. We're trapped. They did the perfect thing by giving us this soulish body with emotions, because they knew then they could play with them. They're playing with you. You need to die your flesh so they can't play with you. That's why Jesus said all the things he said to help you die. Did I just read wrap up? Oh my gosh. The precious illusion is this. Idiom is unknown. One writer believes it refers to a completed transaction, that is, an item brought and wrapped in a bag. Shoot, how's that? I think we'll finish with this. However, it may well refer to the game bag in which hunters place small game such as birds. Also see under wrap up. Oh, well, we can flip it. The hunters, oh, they had to put that in. There's always an equal opposite, isn't there? It's duality. Let's go with the one above, shall we? Because that's what I'm testifying about. Completed transaction, like it's the price, right? That is an item brought and wrapped in a bag. The Lord has this wrapped up. So did I finish with anything? Let's just go back. So we know now why the Lord showed me the game show before the Christmas, that he wrapped everything up. We're only seeing the surprises now that they were planning. We're only just seeing them now. He'd already had his wrapped up. That was what he said. Wow. So the Lord knows. He knew ahead of time that I was going to look up the phrase tonight before I even started this video. And he knew that I'm always so quick, I don't finish anything anymore. I can't watch a whole movie. There's no way I can read a book, because I'm on to the next thing, because that's how quick the Lord is. I've got to keep up with him. So I've only read what's in bold. And all the time I was talking, it said that, and the Lord knew it. One writer believes it refers to a completed transaction. That is, an item brought and wrapped in a bag. It's in the bag. He's wrapped this thing up. I'll see if I can just add one more thing. After I had the communist invasion dream, I saw a bear in the woods, and the Lord said they can't see the bear. The bear is Burma or Russia, both. They're the same thing. They can't see the bear from the woods. Well, obviously I saw the bear, because that's my vision. I saw a bear in the woods. And the Lord gave me the word. They can't see the bear from the woods. And then there was a white tarpaulin on the inside from the woods, you know, like on the flat plain. And the thing is, my impression was Russia, because it was like, the woods was like pine trees, and much of their landscape is like that. You know, they have a boring bush, they have a boring tree, and there's lines and lines of them. Not like New Zealand. It wasn't that type of bush that I saw the bear in. Sort of like Canada, I suppose, too, because I know that they're going to come through. The bear is going to come through Canada. Did you know that? Coming from the top, down an escalator, from the top of America, which is Canada. And the woods were like that. And then there was this plains, because I saw the bear in there. And there was a white tarpaulin. Now, that is what covers things, right? It's a covering. Well, it wasn't covering anything. It was just rolled out flat. And the bear went into it. And then a big hand of God grabbed 1, 2, 3, 4 corners like a hanky and was pulling it up. And that's when the Lord said to me, I've got this thing wrapped up. See? It's in the bag. It's in the bag. And it's the greatest thing. It's the joy that the Lord went to the cross for. That's why he went. For the harvest. If you're not here for the harvest, you ain't following Jesus. And you aren't his. If your heart's not for the harvest, if you haven't got the same mandate, you haven't got the same heart. Now the Lord was holding a sword on that horse. I didn't know what it was. But the Lord has shown me it was a sword. The Lord of the harvest is holding a sword. He is the Lord of the dance. I am the Lord of the dance, said he. He is the Pied Piper. He is turning all the music up. Every romantic song is now a tribute to him. Not every, but any of the ones that he's shown me, or if you catch the spirit, you will hear him in those romantic songs, because this will really turn you off. There are angels of those churches, and I am the angel that calls you back to your first love. That's the message. Come back to your first love. So come back to your first love. And all those romantic movies that they told you in the Pentecostal church that you weren't allowed to listen to because it was idols, idol worship over romance, which is there's truth to. He has flipped it. The things he has flipped, you wouldn't understand unless you are his follower. He can flip anything, and that's why we have hope. That's why we have the harvest. That's why we expect a big harvest. That's why he promises it, and that's why I'm partaking in it, because I ain't going home without you.